Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome once again to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my very good friend, the world famous influencer and DJ extraordinaire himself, Mr. Joy Franchize. Joy, how you doing today, sir?
That's really good, man. I'm doing
Yes,
great. How
sir.
they doing you?
Everything's okay, man. Just
What's up?
trying to make the levels right, the audio levels. Give me another mic check, just one more time, right there.
Two, two, two,
All
two,
right.
two, two.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Well, we're good. We're good. How you been doing, man? What you been doing
Ah,
in this post-apocalyptic world that we live in now?
oh God. Was playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Who
yeah, that's pretty much it.
who
And
who who
rewatching a lot of Marvel stuff.
who knew a dystopian future would include us being stuck at home playing video games all day, every day, watching. You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
It's wild, man. It's a crazy time to be alive. I tell you that. Um, hopefully we'll be joined by our good friend Mr. Tarek Lewis later on in the show. But right now, I want to get into all the things that's been happening all week because we haven't done the show in a couple weeks, and that's partly my fault.
Are you good?
Yeah, man. I've been having some things going on. I went to a wedding and all that good stuff, so you know how that is.
Get caught up,
Um,
man. We all get caught up.
yeah, yeah. So bad news for DC fans out there. There has been mass fire. Oh, I guess it depends on the way you look at it, right? Because things have to change. Things have to evolve. There has been mass firings and mass layoffs at the DC comic book side of things in Warner Brothers, and which is kind of touching on what I really wanted to talk about, which is DC Fandom, which is the online DC, for lack of a better word, kind of online Comic Con that's going on
Yeah.
August 22nd. They're going to be dropping a whole bunch of brand new, news about DC, everything DC, comic book, video games, movies, everything. So
It's free.
yeah, yeah, and it's free. So it's gonna be like Comic Con at home, like what San Diego did, but it's just about DC. It's called DC Fandom, and I guess it's gonna be similar to the way the PlayStation did their PlayStation 5 um little online convention thing that they did. So I just want to get your
Yeah.
take on, you being a big DC fan, the firings and how what if you're looking forward to some stuff that's gonna go down on DC fandom. And the big question I want to ask you, Joey, you know, w- they made all these changes, and then they're doubling down also on the IP. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
where do you see the future DC in the coming months?
It's just sad that they are firing people. Makes you kind of wonder where they're at as far as producing new shows. I guess
Right.
you just kind of worried, like, or not even just worried about if the shows are going to come out or the movies are going to come out. Just the timetable of it, because um, like I said, you don't ever want to see or hear that people are getting let go, because that just means, in a way, that it might take longer because more people are trying to pick up what was left behind from those that were let go.
Right.
It could be a plethora of things. You just don't want to see anybody getting fired in these times, especially.
Hmm.
But for DC fandom, I'm excited for it. I think the direction DC is going in right now is a really good one. I think they're going to announce Green Lantern Corps series on HBO Max. I think we're going
Right.
to get a trailer for a solid trailer for Justice League, another trailer for Wonder Woman. Hopefully, another look, maybe even a quick teaser of the new Batman. So
Yeah.
I'm excited because I think they really need to knock it out the park and take this time where everything kind of has been on pause to really, you know, let's take a breather. They don't have to rush any movies out right now.
Right. Right.
Let's,
Right.
we got some solid material in the works. Let's show the fans what we got cooking heading into 2021.
Yeah. I mean, I saw they dropped something recently online that they're gonna drop the brand new give us a preview of the brand new Batman video game that's gonna be coming out. I guess it's the
Now,
next in the
I thought
series
they were
of
going to
the
stop at
Arkham.
that. I
Yeah.
thought
I
they
guess
were done.
apparently they're gonna keep that going. So I'm excited about that.
I like that a lot. I love the
Yeah.
Arkham games. Literally hands down top five games of all time. For me.
Yeah, so I want to talk about what I saw that you got your hands on the Avengers Beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so give us your spoiler-free review of what you played so far.
I won't give out too much the story. I mean, you've seen most of the stuff on the
Mhm.
trailer if you haven't watched it on YouTube. Gameplay wise, it's a little bit reminiscent of how Spider-Man felt, when you
Yeah.
played that game.
Uh-huh.
I will say it's not Spider-Man, but it's definitely like it's like a B side of
Right.
of the Spider-Man game. Same kind of vibe. I think Spider-Man just moves a lot more. The way Insomniac did it, it moved a
Mhm.
lot more smoother.
Mhm.
My thing is just the repetitiveness of the fight moves.
Right.
I mean, obviously you can unlock special moves and things like that. I think my
Yeah.
favorite character to play with is Hulk right now. I think Hulk is really the dopest one to really play with because he's just like smashing everything. Um, One thing I will like kind of say, I mean that has been seen in the trailer that's really good, and I'm looking forward to unfolding more of the journey in the game. Is the Modoc character actually being in it, which is it's an interesting story of how he plays a huge part as the big bad of this Avengers game. So I can't wait for the full version to come out. Beta, I mean, it's a beta, so you can't really expect too much. You just get a kind of solid feel for the game. And
Right.
if I had to grade it, I'd give it like a B minus C plus maybe.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I was watching people play it already, and some people who were kind of game streaming a little bit, and it kind of moves similar to Final Fantasy VII, the remake. And it's
Mhm.
just another Square game, so it kind of like you move up to it and press the command, then Thor will pick up something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah,
Um, so. I guess it has that flow like a role playing game flow, which is, I guess that's really the design of it.
right.
So I'm excited about that, man. I hope it's a good game, and I'm trying to finish this Final Fantasy VII remake so I can get into something else. And fortunately, the beta ended for me, so I couldn't drop that money and invest in it. But I'm glad I saw you get it.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I was happy to get it. I was super hyped to play
Yeah.
the beta. It looks pretty decent. I mean, I'm interested in seeing how it'll look on a PS5. But I mean, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be a fun game to rock with. So I mean, we'll see what happens come September 4th.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited about it. I want to also talk about we got some insider info on some brand new stuff that's gonna be happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so specifically with Disney Plus, and I want to touch on it. The insider Mikey Sutton always gives us some exclusives, and he did drop this little info for us. Are you familiar with the character Blue Marvel?
No, I'm not actually.
Okay, because apparently, he's another African American superhero that was included in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
I believe he is the father of Patriot of from Young Avengers.
Okay.
So there's quite possible that that character will be introduced in the Agents of Sword um, project that's coming out on Disney Plus. So we are waiting to hear more about that. I'll read actually the whole scoop just so you can get your get all the info. There
Cool.
has been speculation brimming for the Blue Marvel. A part of it is wishful thinking. The character has quite the cult following, which has skyrocketed back issue prices of his comic book Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel #1. 2008 is when the character came out. There's also the casting of Carl Lumbly in The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which some feel is the Blue Marvel and not Isaiah Bradley, the original black the Captain America, the father of Patriot from Young Avengers. So again, it's just all speculation, nothing based on rumors or gossip conversations. But when Blue Marvel appeared on a recent LTS here and on, it's like a speculation, like they treat the comic books kind of like commodities, like stock going up and stock going down. It's a show
Yeah.
on YouTube called Lords of the Long Box. I really recommend it if you're into collecting comic books like that. So they were talking about it that it's a possible that it's going to be a hot commodity, a Blue Marvel first. the first appearance of Blue Marvel. However, there's no development yet that's been heard about until now. Um, he doesn't know if it is a recent development or simply been hidden all this time, but the Blue Marvel is among the characters being seriously considered for the Sword project on Disney Plus. Whether that will be his MCU debut remains to be seen. He has been told that the Blue Marvel is highly appealing to Marvel Studios on multiple levels. First, he has the diversity, of course, because he's an African American character. Secondly, he's well suited for the easily cosmic direction the MCU is headed in, and a lot of these drops are like is starting to they're starting to aim towards the cosmic side of the Marvel stuff. Guardians of the
Right.
Galaxy cosmic side is like I think they want to double down with that sci-fi feel. A lot
Right.
of the stuff that's going to be happening. So there's discussions including him in the Annihilation movie, possibly also. I guess more likely going to happen. Like Nova, we're going to get Nova, we're going to get Adam Warlock. I mean, they're working on it. You know what I mean? So what do
Okay.
you think about that? Girl, you're not very familiar with the character, but the more the
Right.
merrier,
Not.
right?
Yeah. The more the merrier, and if it makes sense, I'm all for it. And getting a grip on the more galactic stories. I mean, that's cool, and the fact that he'll be like it'll be similar to how Black Panther was when he joined the MCU.
Hmm.
But him being an Earth-based character, and now you got the first African American more like in space character, which is
Right.
really awesome. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm excited for the Sword TV show because I'm curious to see what Nick Fury's got cooking up in that spaceship there, um, and why he was in space in the first place, and how
Right.
long has he been up there.
Hmm.
So it's gonna
Yeah.
be, I think it's gonna be a solid show. I'll probably tap into that more than I did to Agents of Shield, and if it's on Disney Plus, I'm all in.
Well,
So
talking about Agents of Shield, man, that was an awesome way to cap off the whole season. If anybody hasn't cared anything about Agents of Shield, I recommend you see the final season. It's already all been released and so should be available to stream, wherever you stream your stuff. Let's not get into that. But it was a good send off, man. It was good and it was very touching, man. Very touching. And man, there's one show there where it's about Mac and about his family, and man, if just it was just a great piece of television, man. It was really like the gravity of the situation he was in was just I don't without spoiling, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So just go see it, man. If you're ever cared or anything about Agents of Shield, I guarantee you'll enjoy the final season at least. Let's get into the other another scoop is about Hercules. Hercules, you like the character Hercules in the Marvel comic books, or it's
nah,
just
yeah, I've never been a
well,
fan.
well, they originally later on in the future they kind of rewrote him, kind of like um as he is like like there's the Asgardians and then there's the Olympians. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
they kind of wrote him as Olympia has been destroyed for a long time, and he's kind of like a spacefaring character now. So he's kind of like a swashbuckling kind of Buck Rogers kind of uh uh was Flash Gordon kind of maybe touching on that kind of feel kind of character. Recently the way they've written his comic book. So um in December 2019, Mikey scooped that Hercules will be headed to the MCU. Hercules was being discussed for a Disney Plus, perhaps part of a journey into mystery show. As usual, plans evolve, and now talks are veering towards his own Disney Plus TV series, one that is again rooted in the history of Marvel Comics. 1982 Hercules miniseries is what I was talking about, written and illustrated by Bob Layton, reads kind of like a blueprint of the MCU. The fast-paced mix of humor and adventure enveloped in cosmic stuff, a vintage kind of Star Wars feel. It was kind of ahead of its time in 1982, echoing the MCU work of James Gunn and Taika Waititi decades later. So it's no surprise that Marvel Studios is looking at incorporating elements of this book for the potential Hercules show on Disney Plus. Whether it will be adapted or not remains to be seen. In the original comic, Hercules hilariously got Galactus drunk. So he
Hmm.
it was finally so they finally showed Galactus without his helmet on.
Wow.
Yeah, so goofball stuff happens in that comic book. So it's right out of the gun, the playbook. You know what I mean? Of
Yeah.
James Gunn and Taika Waititi. So depends on what Marvel Studios wants to do, how far they want to go. So Hercules, man. How you feel about that? Or
Should be good. I mean, not too familiar. Like again, not too familiar with the character, but
mhm,
I mean, I think Marvel does a good job with characters that maybe fans are not as familiar with, or
right,
maybe not
right,
popular choice. We saw great things they did with Ant Man. I never really, dove into Guardian in the Galaxy movies like that as either. But I mean, look what they did with that movie, and that's probably one of the best you know tandems in the MCU.
right.
Great movies. So it's gonna be good. Keep pumping them out. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel really can't lose, and I think they got a solid team. And Kevin Feige's got that you know everything under control, and it feels like everybody's on board. They've yet to really put out a bad project. So I mean, if you can make it work, I'm all in. And then I go back and check the comics, and I'm like, oh damn, I was missing out this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I hope I like all the things that they're creating for Disney Plus. I mean, it's going to be a lot of things to watch. A lot of things to
Yeah.
watch and a lot of things to catch up on. Talking about the last thing that Mikey Sun was talking about, as far as scoops, he has heard that Allison Brie, is very close to, she's either signed or is very close to signing to be She-Hulk for
Yeah.
the She-Hulk Disney Plus show. So one source has told him that she has already agreed to the deal. There's no official announcement, but she's being very, very, keen and shy about any interviews she's been doing. Um, but the insider really believes that Brie is going to be Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. Her intelligence, her buoyant personality, her comic timing, she's Jennifer. Like Mark Ruffalo, CGI will take over once you see Hulk, but Brie's charm will be the heart beneath the FX. Sutton spoke to other insiders who admitted that while Bree is the front runner, she hasn't been quite cast yet publicly. So, anything could change. But Sutton is convinced that the selection has been made. It's just a matter of time before Bree is announced. And there's quite also another rumor, another project that Allison Brie is working on, that she may be uh, Chitara for a Thundercats live action movie.
Interesting.
So
She's
that's
just
yeah.
getting work.
So that's things that are working on, either a TV show or quite possible live action movie that's in the works. We nobody really knows yet, but that's what the insider gave us. So of course things can change anytime. How you feel about Alison Brie? You like her as actress?
I've never really watched the films.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of
I think
people
she's in a
talking
lot of
about her.
comedy stuff. So she's been doing a lot of. Um,
That's cool.
yeah,
I mean, they've been talking about her for a while, so I think when they brought her up, I haven't seen her work. But I hear she gets a lot of praise from the people that have also heard that same rumor of her playing She-Hulk. Yeah, she looks good. She looks good for the role. I mean, I got to get familiar with more of her, her work. But I mean, she does what, mostly comedy.
yeah, she does a lot of comedic roles. I forgot the show or most recent show that she was in. Let me see if I can see her page here. Uh, and while I'm looking that up, I want to tell you that quite another rumor that kind of came in that the insiders have been hitting on is that
Hmm.
one of the antagonists in the Moonlight Disney Plus show will be none other than Daredevil himself. So we might get some Daredevil
Wow.
versus Moon Knight, a la like Punisher versus Daredevil, like it was in his show, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how you feel about that? Get some Moon Knight Daredevil action. Who's your money on there?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I gotta go with Daredevil, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy. Hell's Kitchen,
She
bread,
was in Mad Men. That's what she was.
vodka. Oh, Mad Men. Yeah,
She
that's
was in
yeah, that,
Mad Men.
and she's.
So
I know she's on Glow too
yep.
on
Uh-huh.
Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, she be alright. I think they do a good job of casting these people, these actors for these roles because
Right.
see guys like who are funny like a Paul Rudd who can still pull off. you know, an Ant-Man character and action. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
pretty solid.
Definitely. I want to get back to a little bit of DC news before we move on from DC stuff. One last thing that the insider dropped for us was that Amber Heard and Ezra Miller are not going to be they are not going to be recast at all, due to their their own personal problems and issues that they've been having. They are
Hmm.
not going to be recast at all.
So they're on deck for
They are
Aquaman
on
2.
deck for everything that's going to be DC that involves them.
That's wild because Amber Heard had a whole situation going
Yeah,
on.
they still got a whole situation going, both of them. But apparently the DC is not walking away from them. So that's the
You
what we got. Yep,
loyal.
yep. They're being loyal to them at least. Um, have you checked out the trailer for Star Wars Squadrons?
Have not yet.
Do you like the X-wing versus TIE fighter stuff? Star Wars?
I'm all for it. I think
Yeah,
there should be more. There needs to be more X-wing
yeah. So
fighters. But I mean, what's Star Wars without light? I don't feel like it's Star Wars unless there's lightsabers, or you got an X-wing.
yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm a real big fan of the spaceships, so I'm really excited about this game. And there's a bunch of some people got to play some exclusive demos, and so there's a bunch of videos out there now you can actually check out the gameplay, and it's pretty well rounded, well, like one of those flight simulators kinda, you know?
yeah,
Like you can like drop your shields and you have more power to your weapons, and then vice versa. You can play around with stuff. You can customize your ships and stuff like that. So looks like it's gonna be a really in-depth, kind of a dueling spaceship game. So
that's cool.
I'm excited, man. Star Wars Squadron's coming out in October, so make sure you get that pre-order in. Um, Last but not least, Tenet is finally going to come out in theaters, which is the Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a sci-fi drama or it's another like spy movie. I don't even know what the movie's about. Do you know?
No, I don't. I did before, and it's been a while since I watched the trailer.
I'm confused. I just know it's gonna be some crazy. Was supposed to be the temple summer movie, and it never did anything.
Yeah,
Of course,
I
because of
like,
COVID.
and I like Denzel Washington's son, John David
Yeah.
Washington.
Oh, he's in that movie. He's gonna be
Yeah,
in Tenet,
he's
right?
the lead role.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. I didn't know that. Well, apparently you're gonna need a mask to go watch this movie.
Yep.
Warner Brothers will not let any movie theater screen this movie unless they are wearing a mask.
Wow.
Unless the patrons are wearing a mask. So,
Wow.
like I said, in the dystopian future that we live in.
It's the
Um,
world we are in, bro.
yeah,
And
man.
yo, you got 15-cent movies.
Yeah, oh yeah, AMC's coming out with the 15-cent movies when they reopen all AMC's. And they're gonna be showing classic movies too.
That's
They're gonna be
dope.
showing like
I'm gonna
Empire
be
Strikes Back and the first Back to the Future and stuff like that. So that's
That's cool.
actually pretty dope, man. You get to watch them in the modern theaters, these old movies. I might do that. You know what I mean? Just for some
Nah,
fun. Yeah,
that's not a bad deal.
yeah. I might go against COVID for that. The last thing I want to drop before we end up the show today. There is a new director announcement for Captain Marvel 2. I don't know if you're familiar with her, Nia DaCosta.
Yeah, I heard about. I forgot when she did Candyman, or she's doing the
Yes,
Candyman
yes,
remake.
she does or she did the Candyman, I believe.
Yeah, they're just
Um,
waiting on
or,
release
or
it.
I guess she is doing the remake as well, and she has been announced, so she's doing Captain Marvel 2. And there was a bunch of stuff that we dropped, exclusive that we dropped for Captain Marvel 2. First off, being that they're possibly going to introduce Nova, probably the Annihilation. They're probably gonna do a little bit the start of the Annihilation, which is the Annihilus cockroach-looking character coming to invade the universe. I don't know if they're gonna make him look like a cockroach or not, but in the comic book he kind of looks like a cockroach. So, um, and they're also gonna be doing a little bit of the Secret Invasion, quite possibly. I don't know if you're familiar with Secret Invasion, where the Skrulls take over the bodies of certain important Marvel
Yeah,
superheroes and the world. They try and take over the world or whatever.
I mean, we're still
We got
trying to figure out what happened to that. What happened to that other scroll that just disappeared and drifted off
right, right.
in
So
Captain
and
Marvel?
then and then the big scoop was that I dropped with. I don't think you were on the show. I think it was only Tarek. That Spider they're gonna introduce the Super Scroll in Captain Marvel 2, but the Super Scroll is not going to have Fantastic Four powers. He's going to have Spider-Man's powers, and then Spider-Man is also going to be cameoing in Captain Marvel 2. So I mean, it's a loaded movie for Nia da Costa to juggle here. As far as the rumors are concerned, I don't know. Things can always happen, but um, I don't know if she's done anything else besides Candyman
Yeah,
that's
I don't know her other
noteworthy.
work.
Yeah. So I hope I hope she's up to the task because it seems like a lot to lift.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
I
Joey,
saw that.
man.
I saw that. Also, the Spider-Man 3 title might have leaked.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and drop that title.
So
Because I did hear it too.
what I'm hearing is that it's going to be called Spider-Man Homesick,
Ah, yes, that's what I heard as well. So it's quite as a possibility.
and that
Hmm.
Craven and Scorpion will be the bad guys.
Ah, nice. I kind of like that. I like Craven. I like Craven as a bad
Yeah,
guy,
but
and I
and
don't
they
think he's
might
ever been a
cast
villain.
and they said they want a Joel Kinnaman type of
Hmm.
actor to play him. That's what the casting call is
Interesting.
looking like, which is interesting. Like I don't want to see Joe. I don't think I want to see Joel Kinnaman be Craven.
All right.
He was Rick Flag in Suicide Squad,
Yeah. Yeah. I
but
don't know.
I think I really want to see like Jason Momoa as Craven.
That would be dope. Oh man, imagine that. Oh my
That would be
God.
on
You ever
point.
seen ever seen Jason Momoa in his movie that's on is a show on Netflix? That he's like a pioneer, like a he's like an Indian.
No, I haven't. I know
Yeah,
exactly
he's
what
oh,
you're talking
but
about though.
yeah, man, he's in that role. He's very intense, and I think it'd be a great Craven the Hunter. Um, but the last thing I want to talk about, did you get to catch up on the Umbrella Academy season two?
Now, yeah, I was too busy watching the boys, getting ready for season
Yes, that's
two.
another thing I want to talk. The boys are out.
But Umbrella Academy's on my list though.
Did you finish the boys or no?
Yeah.
All right, so give us a spoiler-free review of season two of the boys because I need to watch it.
I didn't watch season 2 yet. It hasn't started
Oh, okay.
yet.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it dropped already too.
No, I was
So
watching. I was just refreshing season 1.
okay, okay. Well, I did watch season two of Umbrella Academy, and it is just as spectacular as the first. If you're a fan, you're gonna enjoy it. It's nonstop. I don't think I could have stopped. I saw every single episode like nonstop. I couldn't stop myself. So
Hmm.
I think it's you'll enjoy it a lot. If you're about the fandom and you're about the Umbrella Academy, you're gonna enjoy it. All the actors are great. All the new actors are great. Actresses are great. It's a good time. Good time to sit at home and watch some Umbrella Academy.
Definitely.
I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. If it's your cup of tea, you know what I'm saying? So Joey,
For
man,
sure.
let me know what's else is going on with you.
Just pushing out content
Yeah,
on my Instagram at Joey Franchise or YouTube. Just search Joey Franchise with a Z. Also tap in with me Wild 94.1 every day, Monday through Friday. I'm back in the building, 7 to midnight.
nice.
And download the Wild 94.1 app free if you're not in the Tampa Bay area. Ride out with your boy. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir. Of course, you can follow my Eternal Life as a DJ at DJ Speedy JR. I just be streaming and from home and my Latino stuff and everything else. And I've
Wepa.
been game streaming. I've been game streaming, man. Doing a lot of game streamings.
I'm just getting my stuff set up now because
Yeah,
I'm in the process of moving. So I'm getting a gaming monitor. Just got my gaming desk.
nice, nice.
So
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
ready.
doing
I'll
it,
be
man.
ready. To go.
I've been doing it. So I've been doing a lot. I do a lot of Call of Duty, Apex. I'm gonna get into that Squadrons when it's rolling in October, and you can follow me on Facebook, Speedy Junior Gaming, spell out Junior Gaming. On Twitch is DJ Speedy JR, and thank you so much for hanging out with us here on the live show Geek Culture Congress. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you so much for listening to us and subscribing to us. You can do it also. Go to find the RSS feed, Google us, three words, Geek Culture Congress. Follow us on Instagram at Geek Culture Congress all together. And we also have the Facebook page, the famous Facebook page, where you'll probably get a scoop or two before we even talk about it here on the show. There, so go ahead and give us a like there at 3 words Geek Culture Congress on Facebook. Okay, Joey, it's a pleasure to see you, man.
Always,
I
man.
hope you do good, man. I'm trying to get into the studio one of these days.
For sure, yo. Let's link up.
All right, my friend. Have a good
All right,
one,
now.
everyone. Bye bye.
Later.